Howdy. I have got a great live discussion for you today. Excuse me. Please forgive my voice. I'm a little under the weather. But the message I got to deliver today is red hot off the presses and it's important. So I'm making the sacrifice to bring it to you. You know, I was looking on Facebook the other day and I seen a little meme that somebody posted, a little quote, I guess. And it says, accountability is so important. None of us are perfect, but pretending my reaction is the issue when it was your disrespect that lit the match. That's counterproductive. We can't achieve any goals in our relationship. We can't achieve any goals in life when we refuse to take accountability. It is a guaranteed fact, no matter what it is we are involved in, is going to be better or worse to the degree that we take accountability. If you refuse to take accountability, not one thing in your relationship or your life is going to get better. And if you do take accountability, then whatever you're involved in is sure to improve. So let's talk about that. I want y'all to be sure and stay to the end because I'm going to be talking about accountability, what it looks like in a relationship, how it improves your relationship, why it's important, and what happens when you avoid it. All right. So, take another swig of coffee here and we're going to get into it. All right. So, what is accountability? Let's start with that. I got a few notes here, so don't mind me reading. I want to stay on track and I want to be efficient. And I want to bring you this word. Accountability in a relationship means taking responsibility for your actions and their consequences. Being transparent with your partner and acknowledging how your choices impact the relationship's health. Okay, I'm going to read that one more time for those in the back. Accountability in a relationship means taking responsibility for your actions as well as the consequences. Being transparent with your partner and acknowledging how your choices impact the relationship's health. So being accountable is taking responsibility for your actions. Has anybody ever been in a relationship with somebody who don't do that? Well, you understand the importance. It is a core, a relationship building skill, second only to truthfulness and honesty. So building a relationship takes skills. You develop throughout life the ability to do this. The first core building skill of building a healthy, happy relationship is truthfulness and honesty. The second is taking accountability. So if you don't take accountability, you cannot have a healthy relationship, period. This is important because being accountable fosters trust and allows for open communication. It also enables both partners to work together to resolve issues and to grow closer together as a couple. So if you don't take accountability for your actions, if you don't take accountability for your tone, if you don't take accountability for your attitude and the words that you say, there is no way you can grow closer together with your partner. Period. It's counterproductive. You are poisoning the well when you avoid accountability. There is no way that can be a healthy relationship because the lack of accountability poisons the relationship. period. So what accountability looks like in a relationship? The first would be owning your mistakes. When you are accountable, you do not make excuses or blame your partner for your actions. You do not make excuses and you do not blame your partner for your actions. You're accountable for yourself. You admit when you're wrong and you take steps to rectify the situation. Has anybody ever been in a relationship with somebody who is always blaming the other person? If so, you realize how frustrating it is. And you realize how you can't get past that. If you're in a relationship and you're trying to talk about your feelings and you're trying to talk about what's important to you and you're trying to talk about what's on your mind and you're trying to talk about how their actions affect you and make you feel, and they don't want to hear it and they just want to blame you for what they're doing to you, there is no possible way that you can grow closer together as a couple like that. The only thing that happens as a result of that behavior is you grow further apart. Open communication. Accountability, Accountability encourages honest conversations about concerns, feelings, and needs, allowing for better understanding and conflict resolution. Accountability encourages honest conversations about concerns, feelings, and needs. If you are not accountable, if you are always making excuses, if you are always blaming somebody else, if you're always blaming your partner and you refuse to take a look at how your actions, your tone, your words are affecting the relationship, then it's impossible to have a healthy relationship. It's impossible to have open communication. What happens is the other partner begins to shut down and the communication begins to stop. And once the open communication stops, there can no longer be a healthy, viable relationship. Accountability is important for honest communication. Building trust. When both partners feel confident that the other will be honest and take responsibility, it strengthens the foundation of trust in the relationship. If you're in a relationship with somebody and you feel safe and secure going to them about a concern in the relationship, that's healthy. You can sit and discuss it. You can open yourself up. You can be vulnerable. You can trust them with your feelings. Hey, listen, I didn't really like the other night when you did this. It kind of embarrassed me, or it kind of hurt my feelings, or it kind of made me feel like I wasn't really valued by you. Oh, well, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to make you feel that way. Bam. Now you're making progress. But when you come to the person and say, hey, I didn't really like when you did this the other night. And they say, well, I didn't like when you did this. Now it's a fight. Now it's an argument. Now resentment builds and people shut down. And there's no room for a healthy relationship to grow. There's only room for resentment to grow. A positive change. By acknowledging areas where improvement is needed, accountability creates opportunities for personal growth and development in the relationship. By acknowledging areas where improvement is needed, accountability creates opportunities for personal growth and development within the relationship. If I feel comfortable with my partner, I can go to them and I can say, hey, listen, I'd really like to work on this area of our relationship. And if the person is open and receptive, then we can come together, we can talk about it, and we can begin to work on it. And little by little, in increments, improvements are made. The relationship becomes more healthier. We grow closer together. There's more peace. There's less strife. There's more lovemaking. There's less fighting. Accountability. It's the key to all of it. So, what happens if you are in a relationship with someone who does not want to be held accountable for their actions? See, now we've looked at the positive side of accountability and all the good that being accountable to each other is going to do for your relationship. And that's important because now we're going to look at the negative side of it. What happens if you're not accountable? A lack of accountability in a relationship often creates a significant lack of trust, constant conflict, and feelings of resentment, as well as one or both partners feeling unheard, undervalued, and ultimately unaccountability will damage the health and the stability of the relationship. If you avoid accountability, you are going to damage your relationship. Not just with your significant other, but any relationship you're in. You're going to damage your relationship with your kids. You're going to damage your relationship with the people at work. You're going to damage your relationship with other family members. A lack of accountability will damage any relationship that you are in. If you want to grow, if you want to prosper, if you want to mature, and you want to develop, you must embrace accountability. Period. In other words, the more you avoid accountability, the more you poison your relationship and the worse you will feel while you're in it. If you're in a relationship and you're always feeling stressed out, if you're in a relationship and you're always fighting, if you're in a relationship and you're feeling resentment, I guarantee one person or the other is avoiding accountability in one way or the other. Key impacts of a partner not taking responsibility: erosion of trust. When someone consistently avoids responsibility for their actions, it becomes difficult to trust their intentions and reliability. And this leads to a foundation of doubt in a relationship. When doubt is the foundation of your relationship, it's impossible to build on that. It's impossible to have trust. It's impossible to feel secure. It's impossible to feel safe. It's impossible to feel confident. So if you do not have accountability in your relationship, the very foundation of it is cracked, is flawed, is weak. It's built on shifting sand. Nothing you build on top of that is going to last because the foundation is doubt, and doubt is weak. You cannot build on top of that. So if you want to have a good relationship, a healthy relationship, a strong relationship, a positive relationship, a happy relationship, you must embrace accountability. Unresolved conflicts. Without acknowledging their part in a problem, conflicts remain unresolved, creating a cycle of frustration and resentment. Have any of you out there ever been in a relationship with somebody who refuses to apologize? Have you ever been in a relationship with somebody who just cannot take responsibility for what they've done? Hey, that really hurt me the other night when you said this. Well, I said that because you said this. No, never wanted to take a look at the part they play in a problem. Not that the other person is a problem all the time, but both people usually play a part in a conflict. And when there's no accountability, then no conflicts can ever be resolved. And what happens is resentment grows. It starts small and it begins to grow. It stacks on top of it. A resentment stacks on top of a resentment, 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 and it pushes love and affection and endearment out of your heart. And the place where the love and the endearment and the affection used to be is now replaced with resentment. And when you used to get up in the morning and you used to give each other a kiss and say good morning, now you don't do that. And when you used to never walk out the door without a hug and a kiss and I love you, now it's commonplace just to walk out the door. If you don't take accountability, you sabotage your personal growth as a person and you sabotage your relationship. You poison the well. However, the opposite's also true. If you take accountability, you can save your relationship. You can grow your relationship. And the next one is emotional distress. A feeling like you can't openly communicate concerns or have your feelings validated can lead to emotional distress and anxiety. If you're always stressed out in a relationship, if you're always anxious, if you always have anxiety, it's because there's unresolved conflict. It's because there's doubt. It's because there's an absence of love and affection, trust and confidence. And all of that comes about by avoiding accountability. The more accountability you have, the better of a relationship you have. The less accountability you have, the poorer of a relationship you will have. Period. So feeling of power and balance. One partner may feel constantly on edge, trying to manage the other's behavior, creating an unhealthy power dynamic. If you're in a relationship and you feel like you're walking around on eggshells and you're afraid to say this, you're afraid to say that because you don't know what the reaction of your partner will be, or your partner may blow up and explode or whatever, that's because there's no accountability. You should not be in a relationship where you're walking on eggshells. It's not good for anybody. It poisons the relationship. And the cure for that is accountability for your actions, open communication, the willingness to listen, to hear your partner, to understand, to be empathetic as opposed to apathetic. Being kind, being loving, being courteous, being respectful, and honoring your partner is so much better than being rude, disrespectful, mouthy, dishonorable, hard to get along with. When you put the two side by side, why would anyone choose the one over the other? It doesn't make sense. The more accountability you embrace, the better your relationship will be. I keep saying it because it's true. I keep driving the point home. Lack of personal growth. If a partner isn't willing to reflect on their actions and make changes, it limits their personal growth and can hinder the relationship's potential. So therefore, in summary, to wrap this up, the more accountable you are to yourself and each other, the better your relationship will be. The less you will fight and the more peace you will have in your home and your life. I seen a quote one time. It didn't necessarily have to do with this subject, but as I was preparing these notes, it came to mind. And I feel like it fits this subject. The cave you are afraid to enter is the one that holds the treasure you seek. The accountability that you put off taking, the accountability that you refuse to embrace is the key to a happy, healthy relationship. It's the key to a happy, healthy life. It's the key to growth and personal development. Refusing to take accountability stunts your growth, it poisons your soul, and it poisons your relationship. And there is nothing you can ever put your hand to that will prosper as long as you avoid accountability. I could go on, but I think I've said it all. Accountability, it's the secret. Let me see here. Any comments? So James said hi. I appreciate you watching, James. Hi to you. And it looks like a few other people here are just kind of scamming or spamming my comments there. That's okay. I still appreciate every comment that's made. It helps me in the algorithm. So my name is Mark. I'm an author. I've written 9 books, mostly on the subjects of how to improve your life, your relationships, and your finances. If you want to know more, or if you want to get any of my books, they're at markwcast.com. And I appreciate if you click like, subscribe, and share the channel. Don't be afraid to take accountability. It's the secret.